We started with Ivan Panin in 1890. We end here. 23 episodes, 3 seasons, 1 question. Is this book what it says it is? The math has one answer.
Marcus, before we do the summary, I want to say something for any listener who has followed this show from the beginning. Because I was skeptical in episode 1. I was the skeptic. That was not a character I was playing. I genuinely did not know what I believed about the Bible when we started this. And that is important for people to know. Because when you hear me react with surprise or ask the obvious objection, that is real. That was me. And something happened over the course of these episodes that I want to name.
Name it.
The math built a floor. That is the only way I can describe it. I could not see the ceiling. I still cannot see everything. But somewhere around episode 6 or 7, the floor appeared. The sense that this book is not what its critics say it is. That the mathematical signature is too consistent, too layered, too coherent across too many authors and too many centuries to be accidental. And once you have a floor, you can stand on it. And once you can stand on it, you can look at everything else differently.
That is the most precise description of what this show does that I have ever heard. The math builds a floor. It does not give you the ceiling. It gives you something to stand on while you look up.
Let's walk through what we've covered, because when you lay it all out...
Genesis 1 verse 1, 7 Hebrew words, 28 letters. Numeric value 2,701, the product of 37 and 73, 2 prime palindromes. Over 30 verifiable mathematical features in one verse. The first sentence of the Bible is a sealed document. That is where we started season 3.
Psalm 119, 176 verses, 22 sections of exactly 8 verses each, a perfect acrostic cycling through the entire Hebrew alphabet, intact in the Dead Sea Scrolls from 150 BC, 1,500 years of hand copying without a single structural break.
Daniel's 70 weeks, 483 years from the decree of Artaxerxes to Palm Sunday, calculated in days, verified by Persian historical records, confirmed by the Greenwich Observatory, 173,880 days to the day, written 500 years before it happened.
The number 40, 10 instances across 38 books, 1,500 years, 30-plus authors, every single one marking a period of divine forging. Before and after are different worlds.
The tabernacle dimensions, every measurement a coherent mathematical ratio. The Holy of Holies, a perfect cube. Solomon's temple, same design language, different scale. The New Jerusalem in Revelation 21, same shape, eternal scale. One author designing from eternity backward.
And seasons 1 and 2 before all of that, the 888 count, the sevenfold patterns, the 490-year cycles, the Dead Sea Scrolls proving the text was preserved, the verse at the exact center of the Bible, the resurrection morning count, the prophecy that ended the argument.
We have a caller who started at episode 1 and has listened to every episode. Sandra, welcome to the Sealed Word.
Thank you, Marcus. I want to tell you what happened to me over the months I spent with this show. I'm 61 years old. I was raised in church. I have read the Bible my entire life. I believed it was true, but I believed it the way you believe something someone taught you to believe. It was inherited. It was cultural. It was real, but it was thin, like paint on a wall. You can see the color, but you cannot feel the substance underneath.
And the show changed that?
The math put the substance back. Or maybe more accurately, the math let me feel the substance that was always there and I had never touched. Because when you run the calculation yourself, when you sit at your kitchen table with a piece of paper and you add up the Greek letter values for the name Jesus and you get 888, something happens that does not happen when someone tells you the Bible is true. You have discovered it. It is yours. Nobody gave it to you. You found it. And what you find yourself, you cannot lose the same way you can lose what was handed to you.
And what did it do to your faith?
It made it mine. That is the only way I say it. I believed before. I know now. Those are not the same thing. Believing is what you do before the evidence. Knowing is what happens after you have handled the evidence with your own hands. And this show gave me the evidence and told me to handle it myself. And I did. And now I know. And I am 61 years old, and I feel like I am just getting started.
Believing is what you do before the evidence. Knowing is what happens after you have handled it with your own hands. Close the season.
The mathematical fingerprint of the King James Bible does not belong to any denomination. It does not belong to any tradition. It does not belong to Ivan Panin or Brandon Peterson or this show. It belongs to the text, and the text belongs to the one who wrote it, and the one who wrote it sealed it so that any honest person in any century, in any language, with nothing but a pencil and a willingness to count, could find his signature. That is not an accident. That is a design decision. God did not hide the math. He put it in the first sentence. He put it in the longest chapter. He put it in the architecture of his dwelling place, and the count of his most important number, and the calendar calculation that resolved to the day his son rode into Jerusalem. He put it everywhere because he wanted it to be found by you tonight with your own hands.
The resources, one more time.
purebiblesearch.com, biblenumerics.com, kjvcharts.com, sealedbytheking.com, and gracenotesministries.com/kjvnumerics. All 23 episodes, all 3 seasons. Share it. Share it with the intellectual who says faith is for people who cannot think. Share it with the young person being told to choose between the Bible and their brain. Share it with the person who has been in church for 30 years and has never felt the floor beneath their faith. The floor is in the math. The math is in the book. The book is the King James Bible. And the King James Bible has one author, and that author sealed it. Season 3 is complete. The case is complete. Season 4 is coming. And Season 4 is about what happens when the floor you are now standing on holds the weight of the hardest moments of a human life. Stay with us. The best is ahead.